What's going on, y'all? What's going on? I'm here again. It's another beautiful day. Beautiful day. I got a powerful message for y'all today. Another powerful message. I'm excited to deliver this to you today. So today we're going to talk about breaking free. Breaking free. If you got some paper, you got a pen, write it down. You need to write this down. Breaking free. Breaking free. Breaking free from what? Breaking free from an unhealthy lifestyle. Breaking free from an unhealthy lifestyle so you can go into purpose. I'm gonna tell you, some years ago, I'm gonna tell you the story so you can understand where I'm coming from. Years ago, I was involved in some stuff, some deep stuff. I was hooked on a lot of things I shouldn't have been hooked on. I lost my job because of the things I was hooked on. You know what I mean? And because I was hooked on it, it just made it hard for me to be able to do things that God had planned for me. Because the stuff I was hooked on that was outside of His will. I was hooked on the drugs that was outside of His will. I was hooked on the sex that was outside of His will. I was involved in some stuff. I had my hands in stuff I shouldn't have had my hands in. Because of that, I lost my job. I almost lost my family. I almost lost myself because I had my hands in some stuff I shouldn't have been in. You know what I mean? For years, I was addicted to smoking so much. I was addicted, I put myself in it. Like, weed just didn't show up at my doorstep and said, smoke me. You know what I mean? I chose to do it. I chose to do it. It was a choice. It was a choice to be addicted. It was a choice to be a slave to weed. And because I made the choice to be a slave, it caused me opportunities. It caused me opportunities because I made a choice to start smoking weed. And because I made that choice, it caused me jobs, it caused me opportunities. I couldn't even do the things I'm doing now because of a habit I had. I had to make a decision. I had to make a decision. Am I gonna continue to be a slave? Am I gonna continue to be a bad example to my kids? Am I gonna be a bad example to myself? Because this is not how God called me to live. God didn't call me to live like that. He called me to live a life of purpose. He called me to live a life filled with purpose. So I had to make a decision some years ago. In 2016, this will be my last time. I'm done with it. I had to break free. Just like I made the choice to become addicted, I made a choice to become a slave. I made a choice that day to set myself free. I made a choice to set myself free. I made a choice to set myself free. And when I made that choice, the Messiah, Yeshua, Jesus Christ, He picked me up where I was at. And He led me to my freedom. Do you want to be made whole? Do you want to be set free? You got to make the choice. It's a mindset. I made up in my mind I wasn't going to be a slave no more. I made up in my mind I wasn't going to be addicted no more. I made up in my mind I was going to do something with my life. And when I made up in my mind I was going to be something, and I was going to do something, and I wasn't going to be a slave no more, I became free. So you got to make up in your mind, right where you are, in the position you're in, that you ain't going to be a slave no more. Because this is what happens, right? This is what happens when you are enslaved to something. Come here, Yishi. Get behind me. And I want you to pull me back. Hold me. And pull me back. So when you're trying to go somewhere in life, when you're trying to move ahead, when you're trying to advance, when you're trying to do special things, right? This is what happens when you're in bondage. This is what happens when you're addicted. Every time you try to go somewhere, it comes with you. It comes with you. The addiction, when you decide to get married, it comes with you, right? You thought it was gonna go away when you got married, but you didn't know it was still connected to you, right? When you go to that job, you thought it was gone when you got that better job, right? But it's still in you. You want more and it's still in you. It's still connected to you, right? You move to a different state, guess what? It's still connected to you. It's a leech, it's a parasite. It's still connected to you. You still in bondage. You thought that you could just easily get rid of it because you moved. You thought because you got married, you can get rid of the sexual problem that you had, but nah, it's still connected to you, right? You thought that because you went to church one time, you was gonna be healed, right? Nah, everywhere you go, it's with you. Anytime you try to do something, it's walking with you, it's connected to you. But until you make the mindset up, until you make your mind up and believe that someone died on the tree for your sins and he got the power to deliver you, you're gonna always be a slave. You're gonna always have this leech. You're gonna always have this thing following you everywhere you go. It's gonna be connected to you everywhere you go until you make your mind up. Like I did in 2016, I said I'd never be a slave to weed no more. I said I'd never be a slave to cheating and sleeping around no more. I made up my mind that day. And when I made up my mind, just like he walked away from me just now, it was no longer a part of me no more. It was no longer in my character to be under the influence no more. It was no longer in my character to sleep around anymore. Because I made my mind up. I made my mind up that I was gonna turn my life. Not that I was gonna be perfect, but I made my mind up that I was gonna turn my life around. And when I made my mind up, the Messiah, Jesus, Yeshua HaMashiach, he carried me. He gave me a purpose. When I got my mind clear from weed, when I got my mind clear from addiction, I started walking in purpose. He couldn't show me my purpose because my eyes was blind. He couldn't show me my purpose because I was distracted with a leech. I was a slave. He couldn't show me anything. But once I decided to be free, he showed me myself. He showed me what I can be. He showed me what I can do. And I'm challenging you today. If you want to be something, if you want to do something, if you're tired of being a slave, make your mind up today. I want you to look at yourself in the mirror. I want you to say it out loud. I want you to scream it, that you ain't gonna be a slave to your flesh. You ain't gonna be a slave to your mind. You're not gonna be a slave to your environment. You're gonna be free. So I challenge you today. Stop being a slave and break free from your addictions. Break free from your mindset. Break free from your environment so God can do something special in your life. Because he already know what he want to do with you. He already know the calling and the vision that he has for you. But you gotta break free. You gotta stop putting yourself in the shackles. You gotta stop knocking yourself to the ground. So make that choice today. If this message has blessed you, if this message has added any value to your life, all I ask you to do is share this message with 2 to 3 people if it has blessed you today. I hope y'all have a blessed day.